Cars can't always keep up.
I've had to pull back slightly over a vehicle that was turning right. He's gained a bit of ground on me.
The red brake lights ahead means this pursuit has come to an abrupt end. Now, two other members of the squad, PC Snook and Deer, are en route to help.
The bandit vehicle has failed to stop, has crashed into another vehicle. As you can see, the scene in front of us now.
The driver who made off is trapped in the wreckage.
Listen to me, what's your name, fella? Say again. Andrew, right, listen, just take a deep breath, mate.
And if you can keep somebody talking, it takes their mind off the other things they're worrying about, which is the level of injury they've got.
All right, fella.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, all right.
It's not stolen, Nick.
Right. Now listen, can you move your legs, all right? Can you move them, all right? Right, why don't you come out through the window, buddy, all right?
Pete, you're gonna move it?
Yeah, you're smoking into it when you get him out of this car, mate.
There's a lot of smoke coming from underneath the bonnet and into the actual cockpit of the vehicle.
We need to get him out, Brucey.
Can you get out this way, mate?
Can you get out this way?
So the other concern was to release the man from the car. Potentially we could be looking at a car fire.
We're going to have to get you out of here because it's smoking all right, mate, so you're going to have to drag you.
It seems to be all right. I think it's more legs and perhaps lower body. Yeah, mate.
Just leave your head on me, mate. Leave your head on
You
me.
take one hand, I'll take the other. Take it easy, take it easy. Right.
Just come and sit on the pavement over here, buddy.
How about up there? Just up there behind you, Bruce.
The innocent driver is also trapped.
I mean, the main concern at the moment is the people in the vehicles and make sure that nobody's too seriously injured. As you can see, the paramedics are here now, dealing with the chap in the other car.
While the emergency services try to free the man trapped in his car, across the city, PCs Talkington and Cross are back out on patrol looking for a stolen BMW which has been used by a gang of armed robbers.
I believe it's a BMW on a 52 number plate with a back window smashed. Just going to make our way to the area now and see if we can locate the vehicle and see if there's anybody still with it.
That'll be it then, won't it?
Yeah, Black 5 Series. BK52, yeah, it's the right reg. It's going to be on a false plate, this. BK52. It's an outstanding stolen from Duckingfield. It was stolen with the keys in a burglary on the 8th of this month.
We'll have a check of it now, bearing in mind we've got to preserve any DNA forensics and find out what it's been used in today, and we'll take it from there.
Do you know how many cigarettes they've got?
Now more information on the gang that stole the car is coming in.
So we've got a quantity of cigarettes and £50 cash. Three white males have gone in, masked up, and they've got glass samples have been recovered from the car at the scene of the offence.
The gang are thought to be responsible for a series of raids on newsagents. CCTV cameras have captured them on tape as they hold up the storekeeper. They use an old blanket to carry away the hundreds of packets of cigarettes they have stolen. Within less than a minute, the gang has what it wants.
They've made off in this vehicle. As they've done so, somebody has smashed the rear window with a baseball bat in an attempt to make the vehicle more distinguishable or to get them to stop. It's more than a coincidence that we've got a vehicle fitting that description with a smashed window. In the back of the vehicle, it looks like the item that they've actually put the property into may still be there, which is some sort of like a blanket. They've also recovered from the scene some glass samples from this vehicle, or what we believe to be from this vehicle, which obviously I'm sure they'll match up now with any other forensics that they've got.
3 miles away, at the scene of the car accident, the driver who tried to get away from the cops has taken a turn for the worse.
Yeah, at the moment they're working on the driver from the Volvo, which is the vehicle that failed to stop for PC Bruce. As you can see, there's lots of activity there now. The ambulance crew are looking after him as best they can.
The innocent driver who he hit remains trapped in the wreckage.
It's just very, very frustrating. And as you can see now, the amount of work and effort that has to go in, picking up the pieces and sorting out the mess. And that's not to mention the poor bloke in the car there who's going about his own business and suddenly he finds himself stuck behind the wheel of his own car and he's possibly got leg injuries that you know, may well take weeks and weeks to recover from. It's just ridiculous, really. The driver of the Volvo is in the ambulance awaiting to go to hospital to be treated, and as you can see, they're still trying to get this poor chap out of his vehicle. I just hope that he's not too seriously injured. You know, all this could have been just avoided if the lad in the Volvo had just pulled over and stopped. This had never have occurred. If you're asked to stop by the police, pull over. Because if you don't, this is the sort of thing that you could possibly cause.
And the investigation of this, yet another police pursuit accident, will soon begin. But first, the video from the car driven by PC Bruce is under scrutiny from his colleagues to see if he was driving too fast and too close to the car making off.
I mean, you're well off him, aren't you, there? There's not an issue with it at all, is there?
Yeah.
The innocent motorist hit by the driver of the Volvo suffered a broken leg and internal injuries and spent over 2 months in hospital.
You still feel upset. It's not a pleasant place to be, but you have to remind yourself that the accident happened solely because of one person, and that's the driver of the Volvo.
The reason Manchester's police need to chase cars that refuse to stop is because so many of the city's violent criminals use stolen cars. In a petrol station forecourt, another stolen car, and inside it, another of Manchester's violent gangs. Staff inside go about their business, unaware that they're about to be the targets of a vicious attack. The gang are armed with swords and hold the terrified staff hostage as they loot the tills. The gang then makes its getaway in the stolen car.
They will use violence to get what they want, whether it's in the taking of the car or the burglaries or robberies. To the extent of the public, there will be violence to the public, whether male or female, and they're violent to us as well.
PC's Fletcher and Booth are back in Salford, and their attention once again returns to local gangs who use stolen cars.
If you look at every premises along here, Strangeways going in towards the city now, they'll have anti-ram raid bollards outside, every single one of them. All metal shutters, all the bollards all the way down the side, reinforced ram raiding bars.
It's been done, hasn't it?
It's been done that many times. But they usually do it like 10 o'clock at night. And then when there's still people milling about, so quite blatantly they get seen doing it. I mean, sometimes they actually park stolen cars across the street so cars can't get past while they do the ram raid. Remember, the public aren't going to get involved, I don't blame them either. But it's like a military operation when they do it, they all have these back-to-back walkie-talkies. So someone will be lookout on the routes in towards where they are, letting them know if they see any of our cars or any police cars en route.
Salford's ram raiders have favourite getaway cars.
BMW 3 Series, from a J through to an N-Reg Honda Civic, and Mazda 323s, 626s, a Saab 9900. Same year again. It's just it's like a signature car. They know what the car will do. They know how to steal it, and that's what they have away.
Not far away, one of Salford's gangs has struck. A team of ram raiders have been caught on CCTV cameras as they make a getaway in a stolen car. Almost too fast for one of the gang. The expensive designer clothes they've taken are still hanging out of the boot. The gang is using 2 cars. The one behind is also stolen.
CK patrols on the Foxtrot 4. We have a report of a ram raid in progress as the clothing stores on Church Street, Eccles. That's a ram raid in progress, Church Street, Eccles. Information is it's either a black Mazda or a Nissan and a Ford Focus.
The address is just minutes from the squad's base. PC's Talkington and Cross are also nearby.
Yeah, we just saw the report then, just as we're pulling into the yard to finish. They've said there's been a ram raid, 2 vehicles used, a Nissan 200 and a Ford Focus. So we've got, sounds like someone's gone through the shutters at the premises. Both vehicles last seen back towards Eccles, which is where we are now.
We were checking usual haunts where they abandon the vehicles. As we went into one of these estates, this car came flying in the opposite direction, and we turned around and went after it.
It's not the ram raiders, but the cops can't ignore a suspicious vehicle trying to get away.
Got a vehicle here, high speed, coming up here.
PC Cross knows the woman.
Don't be silly.
I've not been driving.
Don't be silly, come on.
She's a disqualified driver.
Please.
No, you shouldn't be driving, should you?
Oh, please don't arrest, please.
PC Talkington has found another reason why she wanted to get away.
You're locked up for possession with intent to supply as well. Get a cuff.
What?
Filled cuffer, mate.
With what? I've got nothing.
What's all the
apart
money
from
then?
money.
How much is there?
£5 grand.
And what's all that for?
What's that for? It's my money off
Go
my
ahead.
mum.
£5,000 in notes there, and a bag of some form of drugs.
Negative. I've just PNC, mate. I think she's disqualified.
We've just seen this vehicle travelling at high speed and stopped it. This lady, we believe, is disqualified on 2 different occasions. In the vehicle is a bag containing what she says is £5,000 and a bag with small yellow tablets in, which I don't know what they are.
What are they?
Sleeping tablets.
Okay.
You know the crack, don't you? You shouldn't be out driving, should you?
I wasn't. I was only driving around to my boyfriend.
Well, either way. Come on then. Let's just go and sit in the van.
In the van?
Yeah, you're going to have to go in the van back to the police station, aren't you? At the end of the day, you drive around, then you have to accept what's going to happen, don't you? Let's just have a quick look in them back pockets that you've got there, just before you get in the van. Yeah, just come around here.
But something still isn't right.
Lionel.
Right, let's have a quick look.
Hang on, just stay there. You've got something in that one.
What's that in there then? In that white?
We knew that she was lying. We can tell that she's lying, and we can smell it a mile off.
Yeah, come here. Don't want to get too personal, that's all. What's in
that back one there? You got some.
It's just a bit of carrier bag. And that's that.
What's in it? Take it out, please.
There's nothing in
Take
it.
it out and hand it
There's
to me.
nothing in it.
Take it out and hand it to me.
Oh, yeah, don't get it out. Get off me! That is!
Relax. Relax.
Well, get off me,
Relax.
Then. Get off me then.
Everybody's given the opportunity to tell the truth, and when they don't and they blatantly lie, especially when we think that people have got something concealed on the person, you need to be firm with them.
Get off me,
Relax.
please.
What's it, a bit of Amfet or not?
Yeah.
Right, well don't piss
Right,
her
well,
out.
tell him to get off me, because it is.
Right, when we find out what it is, have you
I'll
got
give
any
it him now.
Have you got any
no, he
needles?
hasn't.
Right.
I don't touch them.
Right,
Get
just
off
take
me,
it out
I'll get
nicely.
I'll give it
Right,
you.
just take it out. How much Amfet is there?
Just the tennis.
Right,
Is there anything
okay.
in the other pocket?
No.
You're also under arrest on suspicion of possession of a controlled drug, alright?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just put...
Take a seat in the van and watch your ready as you get in.
Right, cheers.
There's £5 grand in that car, mate. And a load of yellow tablets.
Okay, does he drive in and possession?
At the scene of the ram raid on the clothes shop, PC Fletcher is working out how the gang broke in.
What they'll do, they'll peel the shutter back at the side, then they use half a grid then to smash the glass. So when they smash the glass, obviously they've got quite a bit of clothing looking at what's here. They use grids to break in. It's literally your everyday drain cover that you've got outside your house. They'll take one of those, put it back in the car, and there's some weight to one of those and put it through the window. Kids' clothing in it, look at it.
The size of the hangers.
We'll go and have a look for the cars.
Try and get the forensic from the
try and
cars,
get the forensic
innit?
from the cars. So we'll go and do that. So I say it's not that late. It's happened at 11:15. It's in the middle of the street.
It's quite busy still,
bold
isn't it?
as brass.
Across town, an even more serious incident has occurred. A man has been attacked and his car taken. First reports are now coming in.
CK patrols in the city centre. I have information of a carjacking in progress, Princess Street. A Honda Type R, a Civic in black. The owner of the vehicle being threatened by 4 males with iron bars.
PC Talkington has now teamed up with PC Bruce to search for the gang.
The car's a Civic Type R, so it's a sporty model, so it's quite a desirable motor vehicle. It's a vehicle which is targeted by car thieves because of its performance. The offenders that commit these sorts of crimes are quite prepared to threaten violence, and if you don't comply with their wishes, they will use violence on you, even if they didn't get the vehicle. They're quite capable and quite prepared to do that. We see it more and more commonly.
CK to Patrols, further information regarding the Honda Civic Type R. It's now reported outstanding stolen. The vehicle last seen Whitworth Street towards the Mancunian Way.
Oh, let's go. Beauty.
The carjackers are now heading south towards Torkington and Bruce.
Yeah, traffic's being picked up.
Our indications are it's A6 Stockport Road would be
Multability.
The stolen car has been fitted with a tracking device.
They seem to think, from the information available to them at this moment in time, that it's going to be around the South Manchester, possibly Longsight, Moss Side area. We're approximately half a mile from that location now. We suspect that the vehicle's actually moving, that it's actually out and about, and that the offenders are still driving the car. So quite hopeful that this vehicle may still be moving about, and we might be able to get behind it and get some people arrested. When you've got a vehicle like this and you know that you're in the immediate vicinity of it, or you believe it's to be moving, as we did on this occasion, the adrenaline buzz that you do get from it is quite strong. I mean, you have to be able to control your feelings and deal with the job in hand, but it's very, very exciting.
The cops are now getting a signal from the stolen car, and it's close by.
You can see from the tracker unit now, it's started to beep, and it's getting stronger now. Velvet Street. There you go, right? It's going to be in these flats. I believe the vehicle will be in these flats to our...
There it is on the right. Just on the right there behind you.
The stolen car is parked up, neat and tidy.
As you can see, the tracker unit's led us straight to the vehicle.
There's no sign of the gang who took it, but PC Torkington suspects they're not far away.
What we're looking at when we're looking at the vehicle is we're checking the bonnet, the engine, and the exhaust to see how hot the vehicle is. It gives us an indication of how long it's been here. These wheels are absolutely red hot.
Affirmative, mate. We're just with it now on
as you can see.
off Huxley Avenue, Cheetah Mill.
That's not from normal driving conditions. So this vehicle's been driven hard, been driven fast, and it's been driven very recently before being abandoned at this location. Unfortunately, we were probably minutes just behind when these offenders abandoned it.
You'd have to think they're going to be in one of these houses, aren't they? They're going to be watching us now, but it's knowing which house it is, isn't it? Unfortunately, we've not got a tracker on them.
Roscoe and his handler PC Don Whittaker have arrived to help out.
If it was in the middle of a field, mate, there wouldn't be a problem. Because it's just on hard surface as opposed to grass. Grass holds the scent for hours and hours and hours. Whereas on a tarmac or a stone, there's not as much chance to put the scent down, you know.
Now another car has turned up.
So your keys out the ignition, Tom?
It's possible it's connected to the gang of carjackers.
Pass it over to me, mate.
Two men have got out and gone into a nearby house, leaving two others behind.
You live round here? Right, who's the lad? Who's just gone in the house? Right, listen. Let's not have one-word answers, all right? If I'm asking you who's going in the house, after a name out, or not whether it's a boy or a girl or your friend or whatever. All right, so let's start playing the ball, yeah?
But it's what's inside the car that is now of interest to Torkington.
What are those gloves for? Surgical gloves. Are you a surgeon?
No.
Surgical gloves are used by car thieves to hide their fingerprints so that they're not left on any surfaces. Very, very common amongst burglars, car thieves, and there's only one reason that these lads have got them. What's that under your seat for? Let me guess, just fixing your car. There was also a wrench or a spanner type implement inside the vehicle. Coupled with the surgical gloves, I would suggest that the occupants of the vehicle were up to no good. Why's your ignition lights on? Your keys are out of the car.
Because my lock broken, officer.
Is this car registered to you?
Yes, I show you.
Durex. 2 years out of date, that.
Have you got a girlfriend? Me.
Now more information is coming in about the gang of carjackers who stole the Honda.
CK2 patrols regarding the outstanding stolen Honda Civic Type R. It's believed that two of the offenders, one male black and one white male, about 16 to 17 years on board.
These two lads are not involved in the carjacking, but Talkington still wants to check out those inside the house.
Good evening, sorry to bother you, it's the police. Two lads that came in your house a minute ago, we just asked them to come out, Ali and the other lad, please.
I've just come downstairs, put my baby to bed.
That's fine, it's okay, it was
You
two
can
lads.
come in and check.
There's two lads that came in your house. On being invited into the kitchen area, the window is wide open and it's clear from the footmarks on the windowsill that these lads have been in and have actually gone out through the back of the property. So what's the story here, lads? Who are they?
Yeah, he's not on me, but
Ali? Well, that doesn't mean anything to me, that does it? What's his surname?
That's all I know.
Rubbish. It's not enough. Absolute rubbish.
Talkington isn't getting the answers he wants.
Get insurance? No, lock your car up.
With no tax or insurance for the car, Talkington is making sure the two lads will be walking home tonight.
At this moment in time, we haven't got anything to link these with this incident. It's circumstantial. What we will do is we'll put their names forward for any fingerprints, for any forensics for this vehicle. But at the moment in time, it's just another case of idiots that don't want to be spoken to by the cops.
3 miles away in Salford, the Ram Raiders who broke into the clothes shop have swapped their car and are back on the streets.
That's observations, please, for a Saab 9000 in blue. Stolen from Odsall, the vehicle possibly used in connection with the Ram Raid Eccles.
We knew that they'd dumped the Mazda and they wanted a new vehicle, and lo and behold, the Saab gets stolen from the city centre.
PC's Fletcher and Booth are now looking for the Ram Raiders in the stolen Saab.
There it is, mate. See it?
Yeah. Did it come out through a red?
Yeah, just overtook, done the wrong side and overtook that. Yeah, it's going the opposite way, mate. Just try to catch up, we've had to spin it around.
But they're on their own, and the Ram Raiders are now putting distance between them. Backup is urgently required from the Force helicopter India 99.
Yeah, can we have 99 or 66, please? There's a Saab, it's been near this MX6. It's Regent Road, it's done a red light at the 602 and gone down Eccles New Road.
Now the trick is to keep them in view, at least until help arrives.
It's a Saab 9000 4 up. We've caught up to it in My Street at Weast.
Bally's on. Balaclava's on, mate. Front near side's got a bally on.
Yeah, they're putting balaclavas on now. 990, please, as soon as.
But they've been rumbled.
Video, mate.
Yeah, they've put his passengers put his up. Front seat's got a
Yeah, can I
balaclava.
have assistance of traffic, please, with a Stinger now, with a patrol if possible. This vehicle's going to make off in a minute, I'm sure it will.
It's decision time for the gang.
What's going on here?
Yeah, they're swapping drivers. We're still held near the Metrolink station. It's indicating right to My Street, Mike Yankee Street off Eccles New.
Whether to run or to fight.
Yeah, they're getting items out of the boot. They're going to do us here, I think. They're getting weapons out.
Yeah, getting stuff out, get ready.
Yeah, they're going to attack us here. They're getting machetes out of the boot.
Golf clubs, got golf clubs. 845 on urgent. We're going to get attacked by a Saab on Eccles New Road.
It's off now. It's off. It's a left for left. Missouri, no, it's a U-turn back towards the M602.
The gang heads back towards Salford.
Yeah, it's a tactical phase of a pursuit. They're throwing items at us now. Golf balls received. It's a red light. India 99 soon as, please, and traffic patrols it.
Fletcher and Booth now have a chase on their hands.
Yeah, they're all male adults, white male adults, approximately 20 years of age. Speeds in excess of 77 mile an hour towards the M602.
I just told patrols, don't bother coming to us, just get towards them. That's where we knew the car was going to end up there. So if we can flood the estate, and then the helicopter's got the car in sight, once they abandon that car, then it's good guys versus bad guys then, and my gang's bigger than theirs.
Lights out on the vehicle, it's lane 1 approaching. It's
We're right. Trafford Road, they're throwing items out the car at us, balaclava up.
Trafford Road towards the quays. They've got golf clubs on the vehicle as well and a machete, I think.
The Force helicopter has now joined the pursuit.
Yeah, speeds in excess of 55, sir. There's no other vehicle traffic on this part of the dual carriageway, no pedestrians. We're happy to continue at this moment.
845 is hanging out the window with a balaclava and a golf club waving at us. ARVs as well, please.
Armed response vehicles are also on their way.
Towards the shopping precincts on Odsall.
But the gang have made it to home turf, to where they hope to shake off those pursuing them.
It's going to a dead end, I believe, unless we can get through the bollards. There's no pedestrians, no other vehicles, it's very quiet. They're going across the park area.
We can follow at this moment in time. It is, we've got underbody protection, it's on a pathway.
We're off-road back in towards the estate.
But Fletcher and Booth are once again stuck in the rough.
Yeah, we're having to back off due to some debris on the floor here. Temporarily lost sight of it, he's going to come back out towards Phoebe Street. This way, mate. 364, it's unable to follow this moment.
The gang are still going.
99 is back onto Phoebe Street.
But Fletcher and Booth aren't.
Can't get out, mate, I don't think.
Oh, are you still on this channel?
Yeah.
That's the way we came in, mate.
I was absolutely gutted, really, because of the vegetation. I couldn't see the car. So if I couldn't see where I was going, there was no point carrying on. Best just to regroup, really, which is what we did.
It's now up to Indian 99 to follow the chase.
West Crown Avenue, back towards Regent Road.
Going back towards Regent Road now. 7258, I'm on route to the area. 258, thanks.
At least one of the gang has had enough and is taking his chances alone.
Now, Coronation Street, Roger.
One's jumped out the back at top of Coronation Street, the rest are still going. Looks like an abandoned.
And now his mates are joining him.
Looks like an abandoned now, Coronation Street.
The Sierra Victor vehicle has been abandoned on Coronation Street.
Stay with the driver, on foot, up Coronation Street.
The cops will now follow the driver. He will face the most serious charges.
No, they're trying to hide, possibly trying to get into an address, Coronation Street now. We need to hurry up, he's knocking on and he's gone into an address on Coronation.
Male driver now going to an address on Coronation Street.
It's not barreled, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Meanwhile, PC Fletcher is out of the rough and with the stolen Saab.
This is the car, obviously it's been, its rear quarter light smashed and the ignition's been bypassed. I'm sure this car lives in Asgard Drive where the Mazda's abandoned, so obviously just nicked this off there and seen us, and then all the funds began then with the bar. But you can see inside they've got the golf clubs inside. Golf club in the back. There's one in the passenger, that was one that was waving at us out the passenger seat.
While Fletcher secures the evidence, officers are now at the house where the driver is hiding out.
28 double, we've got one detained, but we're just going to search the rest of the house. See.
The cops have the driver, a local gang member who has over 20 convictions for ram raiding.
They're dangerous and violent. They're very, very violent people, and they're kids as well. That's the annoying thing. They're not big 6'4" blokes in their 30s. They're kids who don't eat. They're scrawny as hell. But they go mob-handed with balaclavas on, put the fear factor into people and take the cars off them, whatever they want there, try and get. They're just not afraid of anyone.
Last year, there were more than 120 ram raids in the city. The cops who deal with them continue to make arrests.
The TVCU are absolute stars in this, in the fight against car crime, armed robbery and ram raids. There is no hiding place for these people. We're going to be out there, we're going to be behind them, and we're going to be arresting them.
The driver who made off from PC Bruce was convicted of driving without insurance. The accident is still under investigation. The man in the stolen Mazda who was chased by PC's Fletcher and Booth is still at large. The woman stopped by PC's Torkington and Cross for possession of a Class A drug